There's a lot of people here. Holy smokes. I hope you guys enjoyed that video as much as we did making it. Big shout out to Drew and his team. And Drew, we're praying for you with your wife's passing. You guys do amazing work, and she's an amazing woman. But one thing I do want to point out about that video, Chip Roy gave me a lot of hell about being an Aggie, but his wife runs his house, and his wife is an Aggie. So if you see him, remind him about that. I'm truly humbled and honored to be up here receiving this award. I think about people who have won this, last year, Mike Wrights, Jonathan Bechtel, Christina, Charles, and of course Lynn. These are the people, talk about building an organization. When I didn't know what to do and I had questions, these are the people I went to. And so, they poured so much into me and so much into TPPF. So I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful to be up here and hopefully able to pay it forward to everyone in this room, because we're not building organizations, we're building a movement. So it's great to be up here. But I do have to admit, it feels a little surreal. Over my career at TPPF, I spent a lot of time in the background, really trying to push our people forward. In fact, even as CEO now, one of my main focuses is how I can build platforms for our people. They are the best advocates for what we do. So when we have, a Rob Henneke, a Brett Tolman, a Carol Swain, a Nikki Presley, a Noah Collins, these are the people that I want out talking about it. But to be up here, it just feels a little strange, but it does feel full circle, because my very first business trip for TPPF 15 years ago, 8,000 business trips ago, was to Midland, Michigan, to Mackinaw's Leadership Academy. That's right. And I met some great folks, Pat Benner, who I still call on to this day, and Joe Lehman was young and spry and just the EVP back then. But I heard about this titan of this movement, Joe Overton. And I learned not only about the Overton window and what it was and how we used it, but I learned more importantly about who he was. And I learned about how he served not only Mackinac, but how he served this movement. And it was a transformative experience for me, because it opened up this whole world that I didn't really know existed. I came into this really fresh, and it made me think a lot about not only how I could serve TPPF, but how I could better serve this movement. So I was grateful for that experience. But before I get too much further, there's a lot of folks I really need to thank. I feel like I could almost go table by table and probably pick someone out. But first and foremost, I have to start with my family. I had amazing parents, and growing up, we kind of had an unspoken ethos in our house. We were expected to be kind, candid, and resilient. And I try every day to carry those principles forward in my personal and professional life. But I have to admit, it's been a lot easier to do it because I have the most amazing partner in life. This is emotional. A few weeks ago, I was in Mexico telling a bunch of Mexican businessmen and women how corrupt their government was and how terrible the cartels were. And that was easy, but this is so hard. But my beautiful wife, Katie, is here today. And what you need to know about her, she is the rock of our family, and everything I'm able to do and capable of doing is because of her. And then, of course, there's my lovely children. Hopefully a lot of you met them. They were all over the VIP reception. My daughter, Audrey, is an amazing networker, and she just wants to meet people. And I was like, aren't you tired yet? She's like, no. But they are the ones that inspire me every day, because it is our children that are our future, and the reason that it's their future that we are working to secure every day, and the reason I'm proud to be part of this movement. And so I'm grateful for their support and their passion, and their support of my passion for TPPF, Texas, and this movement. And then professionally, I have so many people I could thank. Our board chair, Tim Lyles, and our vice chair, Tim Dunn, our founder, Dr. Leiniger, Wendy Graham, Brenda Fayovich, and so many folks that have poured a lot into my life and to my professional development. But I know I would not be standing here today if it wasn't for a fateful meeting I had in the summer of 2007 where I met Brooke Rollins. At that time in my life, I didn't know what my career had in store. I didn't know where I was going or what I wanted to do. I was doing marketing at the time for Geico, and I knew I did not want to do that. I didn't know much else other than that. But I met Brooke. And, as I say, the rest is history. But I left that meeting, out of a small conference room in Love Field Airport. And I said, I don't really understand what a think tank does, but I want to be involved in whatever this woman is doing. And, kind of never looked back. And to this day, I'm involved in whatever that woman is doing. Until the day I die, I will be involved in whatever that woman is doing. But I'm so grateful to her and grateful for how she challenged me, how she believed in me. But mostly I'm grateful because she awoke a calling that I never knew existed. So thank you, Brooke. So I'm going to get through some of that because that's going to be the emotional part, and so now I can kind of speed through the rest. Now, but I learned from Brooke, and I learned obviously from Kevin, who's amazing. He couldn't be here today. He's raising money, and I told him, I totally understand. Raise me some too, so please do a good job. And of course, the amazing Arlene Wolgamuth, that what a really good right-hand man does is they are a field general executing on the CEO's vision. And a few years ago, when my good friend Jonathan Bechtel won this award, he described it as walking a tightrope over the Grand Canyon while pushing his CEO in a wheelbarrow. And I said, holy smokes, someone finally articulated how I feel every day. Because there were absolutely days that I was not sure that I'd make it across, no matter how confident Brooke and later Kevin were. But that is what makes the partnership between a CEO and an EVP so special. It's that trust, that unwavering faith in vision, mission, and the people of our organizations. And I'm lucky now to have that and Rob Henneke and our staff, but it gave me a whole new understanding of how this works and why it makes us so capable of doing really big things. But seeing that example from Brooke and Kevin and so many of you out here, that I still rely on, including, a couple of my good friends, my CEO friends, Daniel Erstbaumer and Randy Hicks, who I probably talk to almost every day. It's helped me learn the best way to succeed now that I'm CEO. And it's pretty simple, right? You hire the absolute best and brightest. I would call it building talent density. You chart a vision and alignment for where you're going, and you get the hell out of the way. Because when you hire extraordinary people and you let them do what they do extraordinary things, and we'll see some more of that today. But every day at TPPF, we devote ourselves to one thing, and we do it extremely well. We focus intently on making Texas and America the freest place on earth. Many of you in this audience have had a hand in that. So whether you work at TPPF, used to, I saw many of our old friends here, or have worked with us, I want to be clear, this award, I know they give it to a person, but it's not about me. Because it's really a recognition of the work so many hands have had in tirelessly ensuring that TPPF was able to realize its vision. And my greatest joy every day, and the thing that gets me up every day, and I never miss a day of work, and I'm up, as my wife and children know, at the butt crack of dawn, is working with the men and women of TPPF and the men and women of this movement. Because it is ultimately for Texas and America's glory that we all grind day in and day out. And Ronald Reagan once noted, there's no limit to what a man can do or where he can go if he doesn't mind who gets the credit. And that is the standard that we expect of ourselves every day at TPPF. Because TPPF is what it is because of its people, its spirit, its humility, and the ability to seize an opportunity, just as Joe Overton preached throughout his career. And when we are all in that servant mindset, we can accomplish amazing things by working together, recognizing and bolstering each other's strengths and talents. That, of course, doesn't just extend to our organizations, but to this movement. And I want to be crystal clear on that point. If I want Texas to be free, and I want America to be free, it is important that every single person in this room is successful. Because we're at our best when our states are truly the laboratories of democracy they're meant to be, and competing with each other, and then working together to push good policy forward. Because we all know, and we believe in a singular truth, that policy matters. So thank you so much for this award, and this honor is truly an honor. And thank you to SPN for everything that they do for this network and for this movement. Thank you to my family for missing 3 days of school to come out here. Thank you to Brooke Rollins for believing in me when she probably had no right to. And thank you to the entire TPPF team for what they do every day for Texans across our state. And thank you to everyone in this room for being in the arena. It's not always easy, but what you're doing is making America the best place to live on earth. So thank you. God bless you. God bless Texas, and God bless America.